Hello there! Welcome to the first entry in my brand new tutorial series on sprite animation. Now, if you've been around for a while, you might remember there's already a 10-part tutorial series on this channel. But let's be honest, it's gotten a bit outdated. Back then I was using Adobe Animate on my desktop computer, and I don't use that application anymore. These days my entire animation workflow happens on a tablet. Yep, everything from prepping sprites to final edits, all done on mobile apps. And now that I'm back into animating, I figured it's the best time to share how I do it today. Now, if you're on board with the idea of animating with sprites or even custom-made pixel graphics on a tablet, in this case an iPad, then this series might be for you. Whether you're completely new to sprite animation or already experimenting with it, this series will guide you step by step through my working process. From sprite sheets to fully edited, polished animation complete with sounds and music. So with all that out of the way, I think it's best to just introduce you to the main 3 types of applications that are part of my workflow. Alright, so here we are on my tablet. The first step in my workflow is grabbing sprites from a database like the Spriters Resource. Once I've downloaded what I need, it's time to prep the sprites for animation. For that, you can use any pixel art app. Sprite, Sprite or Pixaki. They're all great options. I personally use Sprite, which is very similar to Sprite. You can use Photoshop too, but it's not really built for pixel art, so it's not ideal. Once the sprites are cleaned up and ready, I import them into an animation app. I used to work in Adobe Animate, but these days I use ToonSquid. It's a 2D animation app specifically made for iPad. It's beginner friendly, still packed with features, and it's great for frame-by-frame work like sprite animation. Interface is clean, easy to get into. It just makes it quite suitable for this type of animation. Now, if you're on Windows or on Mac, Adobe Animate might still be your go-to program. I'll try to explain everything in a way that makes sense no matter what software you're using. In other words, I'll try to be multi-platform. And finally, for video editing, my go-to app is LumaFusion. It's a semi-professional editor available on iPad, iPhone and Mac. There are other great options out there like DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut Pro, but I've stuck with LumaFusion because it fits perfectly into my portable workflow. It's powerful, flexible, and I've just grown really comfortable using it over the years. Alright, with all that covered, you can already start experimenting with some of the tools I mentioned. I really hope you're interested in following this series. We'll begin with simple things. We're going to prepare the sprites, make idle animations, we're going to create basic scrolling background, and then slowly move into more advanced stuff like camera movement and setting up full scenes. And that wraps up this first episode. It's just the introduction. Next time we'll dive straight into prepping your sprites, getting them ready for animation, and that's already enough for the next episode. Thanks a lot if you're planning to stick around. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll try to answer as many as I can. And with that, have fun, take care, and ciao.